violent gang members. But it's true, we've been given exclusive access to the Salvation Proclaimers Anointed Church in South London, where more than half the worshippers used to be in a gang. The church is on a mission to save troubled young people, providing a safe space where they can go and talk to someone. And their approach has been welcomed by the Metropolitan Police, the largest force in England and Wales. Our reporter, Noel Phillips, has been to see how they do it.
This is how one church is using former gang members to tackle knife crime.
Before I actually became a gang member, I was actually stabbed. I'm on my way home back from football.
The lives of these young men may be the most remarkable. Some were once notorious gangsters, but now they've put their past behind them for one common goal: to prevent violence and save lives.
Do not let me walk. If you do not let me move away, if you do not
give me the items and let me go. Okay, so these people have been caught shoplifting by the security guard and they're not trying to get caught.
We've had times where people are coming to the altar and dropping their drugs on the altar.
The pastor responsible for their transformation claims that successive governments have failed to get a grip on violent crime, and it is now time for the church to take action.
Over 55% of the people in the church were ex-gang members, drug dealers. Last year, 2017, we had over 1,000 people, young men, came forward to renounce that life.
You don't look like you're ready for the war. Glory, glory!
We're inside SPAC Nation, known as Salvation Proclaimers Anointed Church, based in South London, where preachings are tailored to a different kind of congregation. Former armed robbers, drug dealers and gang members. A far cry from the life they once lived. This is not a normal Pentecostal church. It's a place where the word of God is being used to reform ex-criminals, like 26-year-old Kevin, who was recently imprisoned for attempted murder.
Last year and this year is it's actually the first time that I haven't been into prison, so do you get what I'm saying to you? So it's something that's working.
Are you confident that this will work and you will stay out of prison perhaps the rest of your life?
It's working. I'm confident it's working.
The church has over 1,000 members and is led by this man.
He is basically like our prophet. He is our teacher who teaches us about the word, and we don't idolize him, but we come to him because he knows more about it than we do.
Who you might feel is not worthy, actually that's who God uses, because they've been there. They know how to go back to the prisons. They know how to go back to the estates.
So I want to know how this 37-year-old pastor has taken some of Britain's toughest gang members off the streets and into the church.
I understand that our approach is different from a traditional church. So I've got to look like them, I've got to connect. And that's really out of my way, to be honest with you. I would never have dreamt of wearing a ripped jeans as a pastor.
I mean, that's quite extraordinary. I mean, your jeans are ripped, you're not in a suit, you're very casual. For a lot of people, that will be
That's not
difficult.
pastoral, is it?
Yeah.
No, but the generations are changing. I've got to look like the people I'm trying to talk to. And you do realize that I've got access, and I speak to in quotes now, the worst of the worst. The people that have done the most despicable thing. I sit down with them, we talk.
The son of a preacher, Pastor Toby moved to the UK from Nigeria 12 years ago. Since then, he has expanded his church with over 15 other branches across London. The former MP, now Chief of Staff to the Prime Minister, Gavin Barwell, met members last year and praised the church's approach to tackling knife crime.
You can't rely on the government to change your life on its own.
But labelled as a cult, people on social media have accused Pastor Toby of attracting young men and women from troubled backgrounds to his church using materialistic things such as money and wealth.
If a cult means helping young people, reducing the number of people that will be victims of knife crime or gun crime. A guy comes to church who is trying to go to Harvard from Stratford, you know, and he's not able to go, and then we give them money to go. If that's what a cult means, then we've got to be a cult.
This might look like a stage performance, but it's how this church interacts with their members. The ministers and pastors you see here are all self-appointed. They don't come under the supervision of any religious or regulatory body.
In a society that doesn't always offer second chances, the people like these young men, they say they are living proof that former gang members like them can make a difference in communities struggling to cope with knife crime.
Among them is 22-year-old Daniel, who at the age of 12 was part of a gang.
Do you remember the first time you carried a knife?
I do, yes. Age 13. I took it to school, but although I didn't do nothing with it, it was there for protection. It's like reckless abandonment. You don't care about what can happen. You don't care about the consequences. You live in the minute. So you get the knife, you put it in your pocket. You don't think about, oh, there's police down the road, or what if I get into a problem and I actually have to use this? It's just there, and whatever happens, happens, you know.
Have you ever been stabbed?
Yes, I have. Well, I was caught up in a rival gang area, actually around here in Brixton, and I was actually approached by 4 members of a rival gang. I tried to escape, but I was caught, and I was actually stabbed in my leg.
This is now Daniel's life. He now preaches peace in Brixton, the very same neighbourhood he once terrorised.
An elderly person who's never been on the streets of Brixton can't then tell a gang leader or tell a group of young boys don't carry a knife, or give them real reasons as to why they shouldn't, carry the knife. What they need to do is build partnerships with community leaders who have been in that position of carrying a knife, who have been gang members.
Before I came into the house of SPAC, I was known as a lot of things. Before I actually became a gang member, I was actually stabbed on my way home back from football. The reason why I'm standing here today is not only because of it's not only because of myself, basically. It's I'm basically saying to everybody else, I'm living proof that you can actually make a
frightening
change.
testimony. 23-year-old Stephen, who is now an evangelist, has lived a life of drugs and extreme violence.
If it wasn't for the church, there would be no change for me. Basically, in other words, my job is not only to target gangs, but to anyone else in the streets that needs saving.